I'm 67 years old and aging well is my favorite subject. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Today's video is my nighttime skincare routine. I love it because it's quick, it's easy, and it's affordable. And I don't mind aging, I just want to age well. And I feel as though the routine that I've used I'm contented with it. It's not perfect, but I feel as though I've seen results, and that's all one can ask for. Last Sunday, I posted my morning skincare routine, and you seem to enjoy it. So for those of you that might like to see it or maybe missed it, I'll be posting it up above and down in the description box below. With that, let's get started. Of course, my evening routine begins with cleansing. And for me, it's a double cleanse routine. I have found that it's really the only way that I can effectively remove all traces of makeup as well as all traces of my sunscreen. So I begin with an oil balm cleanser, and I've used this one from Clinique since the earth cooled. I love it. I love the fact that it's easy to use, it's effective, it removes all makeup, even waterproof mascara. I even love the way it feels. I feel it has a very luxurious touch to the hand. So much so that I am happy to give myself just a little bit of a massage when I'm applying this to my dry face. I then use a wet washcloth and remove all of the remains from my face. I always want to keep my routine as affordable as possible. So I buy the giant jar, as big as I can find, and I often wait for the Sephora sale, which is coming up in early April. And I'll buy a pot or two and keep them in my cupboard in the bathroom. I also purchase the tiny jar, the 1 ounce jar, and I fill from the large to the small, and I take this with us when we travel. I can't be without it. I love Wash the Day Off by Clinique. The second step of my double cleanse won't surprise you. It's the same that I use in my morning routine. It's the CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser. I've been using this for as long as the balm, probably. I just love it. It leaves my skin feeling clean and soft, but not dry. It's very juicy, has lots of essential ceramides and hyaluronic acid. It doesn't foam, but I don't mind that. I just find it's really, really effective. So this is the second step of my double cleanse. The next item is Medicube's Zero Pore Pads. It's an exfoliator, and it's my first Korean product in my nighttime routine. It packs a punch because not only does it have great exfoliating ingredients, but it also has special ingredients to calm the skin. It's also extremely affordable. It has little pads on the inside and this gorgeous little, I love that it's so sterile, a little tweezer so that you can lift up the pad. I use it depending on how my skin is looking. If I find I'm having some little breakouts, I'll use it. If I find that my blackheads are more than usual, I'll use it. So maybe it's 1 or 2 times a week. It has 2 sides to the pad. One side is embossed. You use that first, and then I flip it over and I use the smooth side just to get the rest of the beautiful product onto my face. I find that the combination of the alpha and beta hydroxy acids, which are salicylic acid and lactic acid, are wonderfully effective. The calming elements that it has, I also really love. And I believe that's why I never suffer from redness as a result of using this exfoliator. It has willow bark extract, Centella asiatica extract, and also evening primrose extract. I love that. The next item in my routine is, of course, tretinoin. Tretinoin is a form of vitamin A, and it is the gold standard of skincare. No product has more clinical evidence behind it. There's 40 years of research verifying that if there's only one product you use to age well with your skin, it is tretinoin. It is so effective because it works at the cellular level to change how your skin behaves, not just how it looks on the surface. It helps to thicken and plump the much deeper layers of your skin. It speeds up cell turnover, prevents clogged pores, smooths rough texture, but most importantly, it genuinely boosts your collagen level. And you will see evidence of the reduction in fine lines in wrinkles. I have been using this for many, many, many years, at least 10. And as a result, I'm using it at a very high level, 0.1%. But that is something that I have increased over time. It is also, unfortunately, a difficult product to acclimate to. Because I have been using it a very long time, I am able to use it on a wet face. A wet face absorbs more quickly, more effectively. I am able to use it under my eyes, around the delicate areas of my nose, my upper lip, around my mouth, and even down my neck and my chest, without any of the issues that are very common when one begins using tretinoin. I will be including my routine that I personally used in order to allow my skin to become accustomed to using tretinoin at the end of the video. I'll also be mentioning at the end of the video alternatives to tretinoin, which do not require a prescription. Suffices to say, I will never stop using tretinoin. It has definitely helped my neck and my face, allowing me to age as well as possible. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please give it a like. And if you've enjoyed the content discussing aging well, please subscribe and join our community. We talk about skincare, we talk about styling, and we also talk about eating well and moving well. Join us. We'd love to have you. Thanks so much. The next two products in my nighttime routine are products from the company Alloy, which I just love. This is probably the most exciting new product I've added to my routine. It's a prescription estrogen cream for the face and for the eyes. I use 2 pumps on my face every night, face and neck, and I use half a pump which I distribute between my 2 eyes, upper eyes and lower eyes. It's called M4 and it's an estrogen-based face cream. The concept of Alloy is that it is a company that focuses on the needs and issues of perimenopausal and menopausal women. The active ingredient is estriol. During menopause, as you know, our natural estrogen levels drop. These products cater to those issues. It's a fragrance-free product. It's clinically proven to increase hydration and to stimulate collagen. A prescription is required. And the lovely thing about Alloy is that it's online. You develop a relationship with an online dermatologist. You suggest the issues that you have in your mind with the dermatologist, and they cater specifically to your needs when they formulate the products for you. They would be able, for example, to give you a prescription for tretinoin, should you decide that you are interested in giving that a try as well. I loved the fact that there was no phase-in period as there was with my tretinoin, and I had no side effects at all to using it. I think Alloy is genius to have a company specifically catering to women of our age and our needs. I love Alloy and I love their products. I might just mention that I have taken the decision that I will apply tretinoin first and then estrogen cream second, but I do find them wonderfully complementary. Tretinoin increases cell turnover, treats wrinkles and acne, whereas estrogen cream improves hydration and elasticity and skin thickness. They're a beautiful, perfect, complementary pair. One way to begin the introduction of estrogen cream with tretinoin would be to alternate. So on Monday you use tretinoin, on Tuesday you use estrogen cream. An alternative way to begin would be to use the tretinoin and then wait 10-15 minutes and then put the estrogen cream on. I have been using them both for long enough now that I simply pop on the tretinoin and then pop on the estrogen cream, but I leave that thoughtful process to you. My next evening skincare product is from Timeless. It's their Matrixyl Sin 6. I love this brand, and as you'll know, I have a serum included in my morning routine as well. Matrixyl Sin 6 is a peptide, which is a small protein fragment that signals your skin to begin to repair itself. I love this. It has 6 major components that it stimulates in the skin. It works deeper than many basic moisturizers. Love it. My evening moisturizer is not an expensive, luxurious moisturizer. It is CeraVe PM. The difference between CeraVe AM and PM is the AM version has SPF in it. I don't want to go to bed with SPF. No one should have SPF on their skin overnight. So I would only ever apply CeraVe PM. I love CeraVe products. This has 3 essential ceramides, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid. It restores the protective skin barrier. It is a beautiful moisturizer. It's very lightweight. It makes my skin feel plump and soft in the morning. It's essential and very helpful when you're using tretinoin to use a moisturizer. I find if I have any redness, particularly on my neck, this beautifully reduces that redness. It's very good at calming sensitive skin. It's also oil-free and won't clog pores, and it's also paraben and fragrance-free. I think it is the most economically sound moisturizer you could ever buy. It packs a punch, and it's very, very, very affordable. Love this moisturizer by CeraVe. The next skincare product is a Korean product. It's the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Bakuchiol Eye Cream. I have milia around my eyes. Many of the eye creams simply induce the creation of milia around my eyes. However, this one does not. The ingredient bakuchiol is a vegan form of retinol, and it actually manages to stabilize my eyes such that I don't create as many milia. I love it. I use it morning and night, and it's affordable, and I love it. These next 2 products are masks. One is Japanese. These are the little eye masks that I wear to make sure that the area around my eyes is suitably hydrated. I always put one on while I'm doing my eye makeup before I video or before we're going out for an evening. So it's a product I use on a need to have basis, but I love them. And I assure you, on the days that I forget to apply them, you could tell because my eyes look really kind of crepey and dry. And anyway, it may be cosmetic, it may be very temporary, but I do find them effective. The second mask is from Korea. I love this mask. It is a biocollagen deep mask, it's called. I usually only leave it on for a couple of hours, and I really do find my skin is so plump and shiny and glowy and wonderful. But the way they want you to wear it is to put it on before you go to bed and sleep with it and remove it in the morning. Rarely do I do that. I wish I did it more often. I think I'm afraid to scare my husband in the middle of the night with this mask on my face. But it's effective and it works. And so I buy them, oh, and the little masks as well, as part of the Sephora sale. Getting 20% off is huge. And then I just keep them in the cupboard in the bathroom. Love them. I have certainly found that my eyelashes are thinner and shorter as I grow wiser and wiser. And as a result, I began using, and I sort of alternate, eyelash conditioners. First of all, this one from Revitalash, the Advanced Lash Care. Some people are concerned about one of the ingredients in this, which is the prostaglandin analog. If you are concerned about that ingredient, the alternative is Swede Pro Eyelash Serum, which I will also link below. This is a peptide-based lash serum and does not have prostaglandin analog as an ingredient. It is not prescription strength. It contains peptides and biotin and plant oils, and I find that it helps keep my lashes healthier, and I'm delighted. So I alternate between the two products. I also apply a little bit of moisture to my lips at night, and I do that with the Laneige product. I love the mask, the lip mask for nighttime. I think it's useful if even in the winter months when I have the most horrible, dry, scaly, awful peeling lips, one dose of Laneige and I am better in the morning. I prefer the berry flavor, to be honest. I prefer unflavored, but that's not available. So that is my favorite lip care product. My hair is chronically thinning, and if there's one worry that I have, this is definitely my biggest worry. We have male pattern baldness in my family, and I even have an auntie that when she was in her 90s had definitely thinning hair. So my concern is that may well be that I'm taking after, this lineage of genetics in my family. So for a very long time, I have been using Rogaine every single night. And I use the 5% foam, and it says quite prominently that it's for men only. But I have learned that what that is a pink tax. Have you heard of pink tax? That's when they say women can't use it because they want to charge more for the women's one. The women's version is not 5%. It is a lesser strength. And there is absolutely no harm in using the men's, except to say that it's cheaper and more effective. Wouldn't you know it? So I use Rogaine in a variety of places every single night on my scalp, and I give it a little bit of a zhuzh. I part it, I zhuzh it, I apply it. I also neglected to say when I was talking about TRENTINOIN that I also put TRENTINOIN on the parts of my head where I've noticed the most hair loss and thinning, because TRENTINOIN is good for the scalp. A healthy scalp is going to be more receptive to Rogaine than an unhealthy scalp. So I use them in conjunction with one another. Here is the routine that I used in order to help my skin acclimate to TRENTINOIN. Basically, it's a 3-step routine for beginners. And I must say, it can take months, even years, for everyone's skin to adjust. We're all very, very different. But here's how I did it. I applied TRENTINOIN to a very, very, very dry face. The skin absorbs much more slowly, much less effectively, which is what you want when you're beginning. So a very, very dry face, and you put Vaseline wherever you want to make sure there is no TRENTINOIN. So the sensitive part of your nose, your upper lip, around your mouth, definitely around your eyes. Do that before you apply the tiniest 1 pea size amount of TRENTINOIN. In terms of how often you apply it, I began with once a week, and I did that for a month. Then the second month, twice a week. Third month, 3 times a week. You get the idea. You will find that if you experience any redness, you may need to tweak this a little bit. Listen to what your skin is telling you. And the third method is called the sandwich method, which I've just learned online. And that is apply moisturizer, a simple one like CeraVe that I use would be perfect, then TRENTINOIN, then moisturizer. CeraVe has no fragrance, so it's a very simple moisturizer. You would do this 2 or 3 times a week and gradually increase the frequency or take away a layer of moisturizer. Of course, when you're introducing TRENTINOIN, you would want to have no other acids in your routine. So no vitamin C, no salicylic acid, no lactic acid. Make sure that you are very, very gentle in your routine, very kind to your skin. You would also want to switch to mineral sunscreen rather than chemical sunscreen because it's less irritating to your skin. And finally, there are alternatives to prescription TRENTINOIN. I'll begin with the example that is the closest to TRENTINOIN, which is commonly known as DIFFERIN gel. It is prescription strength retinoid that's now available over the counter. The next, slightly less strong, is retinaldehyde, and a good example of that is AVENE. I'll be linking these below. And finally, the most common over-the-counter option, which is very, very good for sensitive skin, is made by CeraVe, and it's called their Skin Renewing Retinol Serum. I hope that's helpful. Thank you, as always, for watching. I always appreciate the time that you give me, and thank you so much to the new subscribers. Welcome aboard. Get up, get dressed, be happy. Thank you so much for watching. All the best for a happy spring. See you next weekend.